Many people in Scotland feel as though they are treated as inferiors to their English counterparts. Ethnic tensions between England and Scotland have been present since the two countries were established. Historically, there are many bloody conflicts between the two nations. Recently, there has been much debate in Scotland about becoming an independent nation no longer part of the United Kingdom. The Scottish National Party, whose central aim is independence, won the 2011 Scottish Parliament election by a landslide, giving them a mandate to stage a referendum. The Scottish government, led by First Minister Alex Salmond, says the 300-year-old union is no longer fit for purpose and that an independent Scotland, aided by its oil wealth, would be one of the world's richest countries. In September of 2014, the Scottish people voted to decide if they would remain a part of the United Kingdom. The vast majority, 55%, voted to remain a part of the UK, but this demonstrates that a large portion of the population is unhappy with remaining in the UK and shows the clear ethnic cleavage between Scotland and the rest of the United Kingdom. The UK decided to settle the debate with a referendum where the people of Scotland could decide the future of the country. The independence leaders wanted to retain the British pound, and the conflict that this would have caused with Great Britain caused many voters to choose to remain a part of the UK. However, since the referendum results were so close, Prime Minister David Cameron has given greater autonomy and power to the Scottish Parliament to reduce tensions. Beginning in 2017, they will be able to set their own income tax rates and have more control over welfare programs. However, the new powers fall short of what the SNP asked for originally. Most notably, the Scottish Parliament was not given the power to decide to hold another referendum for independence. Prior to World War II, there was a small population of Muslims in Britain due to contact with Islam in the colonies. The Muslim population increased in the early 19th century due to an influx of foreign workers that provided a source of cheap labor. Britain's first mosque was built in 1889. After World War II, during the decolonization period, many Muslims came to Britain from South Asia. Many Pakistani people emigrated from their country following the partition of India, and small groups of people from India and later Bangladesh followed. This was beneficial to Great Britain as it provided a source of cheap labor to rebuild after the war. In 2001, Muslims made up 2.7% of the British population, and the majority of those people, 60%, were under 30 years old. Islam is one of the fastest-growing religions in Great Britain. In 2013, the Muslim population reached a peak of 5.2% of the British population. Muslims have been systematically discriminated against in Great Britain and have often not gotten jobs and housing because of their religion. Radical Muslims have created underground Sharia law courts, often housed in mosques, that make rulings on domestic disputes that often conflict with British law. These things have created tensions between Muslims and Christians in Great Britain, and Muslim immigration has been a huge issue in British politics in recent years. Many Christian Brits want to close borders to Muslim immigration. Growing numbers of Muslims have come to regard formal political mechanisms as an effective way of getting their problems addressed, if not solved. Since the 1970s, the majority of British Muslims have supported the Labour Party. Some Muslims have advocated for withdrawal to cultural ghettos. More radical proponents want to have a separate political system and set up a Muslim parliament that incorporates Sharia law to run parallel to the dominant British parliament. This was considered to be too extreme by most British Muslims. Organizations designed to represent Muslim interests gain more traction in the public sphere, like the Union of Muslim Organization of the UK and Ireland, Council of Mosques, and Council of Imams in Mosques. The Muslim Council of Britain was the most successful of these and was recognized by all top politicians. The Race Relations Act of 1976 made racial and ethnic discrimination unlawful in education, employment, housing, and the provision of goods, faculties, and services. The Anti-Terrorism, Crime and Security Act provided some additional protections for Muslims who may be subject to religiously aggravated assaults, criminal damage, public order offenses, or harassment.